Edward VII, who some called the peacemaker, died in 1910. He was buried at Windsor, and in the procession were the finest and the highest of men. There were 9 crowned kings and 30 proud princes, leaders of many's the land. And old Kaiser Bill rode next to King George, with his field marshal's baton in hand. Crippen was caught that very same year, and Halley's comet flashed by. The first of the labour exchanges was opened the year the old king died. The Sydney Street siege started 1911, when anarchy died in the flames. In London in June, King George and his queen played the coronation game. A place in the sun, said the Kaiser in Hamburg, launching his new battleships. King George made India, Ireland and Wales the places for right royal trips. Titanic was launched on the day of the Derby, and London's last horsebus was shelved. The suffragettes mustered, demanding their rights, and in came 1912. Jack Judge went down into West Bromwich town for to welcome the brand new year, and he popped in a pub just to have a little sup, cause he liked his drop of beer. Now when he'd had a drink, he started up to sing, and his voice he lifted high. My name's Jack Judge and I can write you a song from Albury town, come I. My name's Jack Judge and I can write you a song from Albury town, come I. Now a Brummagem fellas were sitting close by, he heard what Jack did say, and a pound to a penny he says to Jack, did you could write a song in a day? Jack handed a laugh, he handed a drink, and he says, I'll take you on. This afternoon I'll write you a song, sing it for the day is done. This afternoon I'll write you a song, sing it for the day is done. So he handed a laugh, and he sang a song or two, and he bought another beer. Then he caught the train to Staley Bridge, that night he was due to appear. That very first day of 1912, old Jack Judge won his bet. And the song he made and he sang that day, we never shall forget. The song he made and he sang that day, we never shall forget. March 1912, brave Scott and his comrades died while the snowstorm roared. And later that year, the good General Booth, he finally laid down his sword. There were riots in Ireland concerning Home Rule. Mrs. Pankhurst was in prison again. And Wilbur Wright died that first among flyers as the Royal Flying Corps was named. Titanic, she sank in the spring of that year, taking 1,500 lives. The Balkan states blazed from border to border as death began sharpening its knives. Of the 1910 monarchs who mourned for King Edward, in 1913 few survived. Though some of them lived to a peaceful old age, assassins took many alive. Death came calm to China and Sweden, while elsewhere the murderer's hand struck the Pasha of Turkey and the king of the Greeks, while Spain survived its plan. The armies of Europe paraded and postured, the stockpile of weapons increased. At The Hague, as if in grim desperation, they opened the Palace of Peace. As suffragettes seethed in Caen 1914, an Austrian archduke was slain. In less than 2 months, all Europe was marching, death was in business again. Many's the young man, from many's the family, willingly gave his all. They died in their millions for a dubious victory, answering Kitchener's call. As they rode off to war in their trains and their troop ships, they sang, say, hurried along. The words echo back from the graveyards of Flanders, singing old Jack Judge's song. And the words echo back from the graveyards of Flanders, singing old Jack Judge's song. It's a long way to Tipperary, it's a long way to go. It's a long way to Tipperary, to the sweetest girl I know. Goodbye Piccadilly, farewell Leicester Square. It's a long, long way to Tipperary, but my heart's right there. It's a long, long way to Tipperary, but my heart's right there.